Very cute, very cute. Alright, so this is my second upload that I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Literally, I thought I had 25 minutes, and it was really only 5 minutes, so I uploaded a quick little new moon advice, I called it. So I'm going to pick up from there. Why I was laughing is I was just sitting here, I was writing a couple messages, and before I started this, and literally the moment I said like, alright Divine, let's go, and hit record, the saw started back up again. I didn't hear it at all while I was while I was sitting here. It just shows me like so much is trying to block you, stop you, make you doubt things. Like, yeah, I see that little flag too, little monitor right there. Like you're I'm starting to like see through so much stuff now. Like I'm starting to realize all the things that are coming at me so heavy. It's just, I'm looking at like, okay, what are you showing me? Like I'm really starting to like see through the blockages, the obstacles, all of the things. Like you could be handling things differently, or you're going to start to. You're starting to realize that like things only block you, delay you if you it's like it's weak, you know, like there are ways to, you know, you may have to make arrangements, movements around them. Like it's a beautiful day today, so I was like, oh, how beautiful. I can have my kids outside playing because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, whatever, so they'll be fine playing. So I had the door open, right? And that's why as soon as I start up the readings, then all of a sudden the saw going and all of that stuff. But what's interesting too is I've always said that everywhere I go, there's always constructions and remodels and things like that. And I actually like it because I feel like it disrupts actually like a lot of the energy, like loud noises and stuff, just like how clapping, you can go around clapping and clearing your space and energy and disrupt things, right? But so do saws, and they're actually very calming for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, little did it know, like like some people may get aggravated when they hear constructions and saws. And to me, it's like, I think maybe the entities or whatever would think that it would be a trigger for me because some traumatic things happened when I was a child, right? Around a saw, because my daddy was a construction a lot. So he, you know, and he was making flooring, cutting flooring for my bedroom, for my Barbie room that he was making, and he ended up, the saw went through his hand because he had taken the guard off of it and stuff. So literally, like, I was out there with him, and I remember thinking like it was my fault, like, oh my gosh, because he had to cut this really a specific piece, because it was like this additional room that I had found, because I was a little child, like I was a little discovery, like, I don't know, I'm gonna share a little bit of my story, but like I found this little like plank in my closet, and I like went in there. Like that just shows you how like unafraid I was. Like I got a light, completely went in there, which was like an add-on to the attic and everything, and I noticed this whole new room or whatever. So like I told my dad, I was like, I want this to be my playroom. Like I used to bring toys in there and play, and he was like, let me cut a hole in here, let me see how much space we got. And he put a door on there, so then, and he put roofing up and everything and slanted and made it look like a Barbie house. So, but it was like really cute and little or whatever. But anyways, like, so he is having to cut little pieces or whatever to fit. So anyway, like, but I just, what I'm getting at with that story is like, I remember thinking that like it was my fault that he cut his hand and stuff. And I'll never forget like seeing his hand go through there, and just he wrapped up his hand, and like his fingers were like falling off and stuff. And but he was alright. He got his hand stitched up or whatever, got him to the hospital, his hands fixed or whatever. But so you think like, and I was only like maybe 7 or 8, you know, that saw, like I remember back in shop class and things like that, like I would like get the boys to do the saw. Like I was just so afraid to touch saws, so it was like a wounding. But whenever I hear the sound of like saws and stuff, it just reminds me of my father and the work. So it's actually very calming for me. You know what I mean? So maybe you're seeing things, you know, and I guess for when I was little, saws probably did freak me out now that I think about it, because I would get the images of that. But it's like now I look at it like the love, you know, the little things that like I took for granted when my father was here, like because in my teenage years and stuff, he moved me away from my boyfriend, my friends, moved me out to the country and stuff. I was a city girl, you know, so it was a big transition. So of course, like I hated them, my parents and stuff, and like we had a like falling out for a while and stuff. And but it's like these little things I look back at now, and you know, like my father did very much love me to do those little things like that. Like my father worked hard. Like he was a project manager. Like he started out with, you know, construction, all of that, and he worked himself up, and he got to where like he's, you know, having to wear suits and everything to work, but he was still doing things like this around the house, you know, and things for me, and the things that he would build. And I'll never forget when he built my cats a house. Like I had cats, and they had gotten had babies, and then I had to have them outside because he wasn't gonna let me have a whole bunch of cats, right? And then so I was like, but it's winter time, I can't have my kitties outside. So I remember he built this big cat house for me to be able to have my cats, to be able to have a place, you know, and things like that. So I don't know, I'm thinking a lot about my dad. It was just his birthday too. I celebrate it every year. So anyway, he's heavily on my mind. Like I was thinking, like this is the first year his flowers back there that they're still here, and it's been like 2 weeks, and like that's why I definitely know that the energy's changing, because in the past, like anytime I tried to have flowers, like they wouldn't last longer than a couple of days because of the negative energy and the environment and stuff. And it's like, and you know, I'm like, these are the longest I've ever been able to have my daddy's flowers up. So, you know, there's something very, very significant. And right before this, when I was doing a little short, I was talking about like your space, your environment, and how I was cleaning and organizing and discovering things. And it's interesting, I told you the little stories, like everything's significant. Like I haven't thought about this my little Barbie house in a long time, how I discovered that, and like how fearless I was. Like I think about now, like I remember like I used to be afraid of bugs and all this, but like when I was discovering this whole room that was hidden behind my bedroom, like I wasn't scared of ghosts, and I wasn't scared of, you know, bug. Who knows what was back there? Like I think about this now, like it was part of our attic, which we very much did have rats and bats and everything else, but I wasn't afraid of it at the time where I was discovering. And like I remember bringing all my fluffies in there and stuff and playing, and my flashlights and the lights. Like there's something about that, about maybe changing things, realizing things aren't as scary. Like I remember too when I used to be afraid of the dark, and because like I enhance my gifts and stuff, and I have a lot like where I can see things and stuff, like so it used to scare me a lot, because so I used to not like to have it dark, right? Well, it actually taken me, if you've ever like lost a home or been where you know, in this situation where I've gotten kicked out, and I've been where like for a while, like I was literally having to find somewhere new for us to go like every night. Like that's how it started out, until I got into where we could pay weekly and get reservations and all of that. So in those situations, when you get down to like how scary it is to like not have a place, you know, then you look at the fact that I remember one night, like it took me a long time, especially with all the spring breakers and everything. This wasn't recent, this was years ago, and this happened before. Where we got uprooted or whatever, and I'd live in hotels. But I remember that's when I overcame my fear of the dark, because when if I like got all my children in or whatever, I remember thinking like, gosh, this is so silly, like me being afraid. Like I'll never be afraid of the dark again after experiencing the fear of what it felt like to not have a place for my children to be able to go, whatever. Because I remember like they wanted out of the car, it was starting to get late, because my kids when they were younger, like they never knew what was going on. I kept them so busy when we were out and about shopping or in the stores or going out to eat or whatever, you know what I mean? And then by the time I would get it set up or whatever, then we'd have a place to go. But this was the first time like you know, it was taking me longer to get into a place. It was actually because I did have a reservation for a place, but it was very scary, and I was like, no, I cannot stay here. So then I was trying to find a last minute place. But anyway, like, when there's something about this, like when you need to face like different fears, like some things could seem silly. So there's something about things changing, right? Maybe you're seeing things differently, you're seeing it from a different perspective, or you're realizing that like it's not a wounding for you anymore. Okay, you're looking at it differently, or I don't know, everything is significant. And wow, all of that was just coming out. This energy is so beautiful, but I'm getting this energy like you don't have to be afraid anymore. I really feel that like you're letting go of fear, you're getting your confidence, your strength, your courage, because I was talking about like root chakra, sacral chakra, okay, was coming up very strong. I know a big thing for me too, where I was talking about like the sexual energy exchange, like how you need to be very careful with that, and it is like transactional and things like that. But I know there's something that, like, it's a very beautiful thing, like, but what I'm getting to is, like, there needs to be equal energy exchange, okay? Like, when you're in a relationship, like, it's not fair to, like, hold that back or use that as a form. Like, I get everybody needs to protect their energy. Like, it's good to do that, because I guess where I've been going with this is, it's like, especially like me going through like my initiations and things like that, like there's been times where I've been in my relationship and I've been, all right, I'm going through initiations, like I'm not letting you have any of my energy, you know what I mean? And I was doing it more to protect my energy, but then I was realizing like how selfish that was being in a way, because then my lover, when I was being like that, it was making him feel inadequate, and it was making his sacral chakra close down, because then he was feeling like, gosh, like, I get it, like, she's going through her initiations and her spiritual work, and she's trying to put that energy into that, but she's not pouring that love into me, and she's not allowing me to show and express my love. And some people, their love languages are a little bit different. Like, he's a Scorpio, okay? So Scorpios, they need to be able to express that that sexual energy, right? So you know, like, I wasn't realizing how I was affecting our relationship and stuff by holding that back. And then especially being in like tight quarters and stuff with children in the hotels, like not having our own space, that's really limited a lot of our time and attention. And then something that he was learning too, like, because he was getting to, like, it would drive him crazy, like, oh my gosh, like, I want to express my love to you and I can't, so don't touch me right now. Well, then I was taking that as like I mean, like, when I'd want to like lay on him, you know what I mean, or rub his leg or something like that, he'd like move my hand, like, don't even get me you know what I mean, don't even get me going, because he'd know we couldn't do anything. So then but I was taking it as like, oh well, he's not interested in my, so you know what I mean. So then it was causing like this, where we were our sacral chakras were shutting down and closing off, and then we were getting anger because we were getting angry and frustrated because we weren't able to exchange this energy, but we were perceiving it in different ways. Do you see what I mean? Like, it was because of the blocks and different things, right? So, and what's interesting is right before, earlier today, I was in a beautiful reading I got guided to, where somebody was talking about like intimacy. You know, it's more than just sexual. Like, it doesn't always have to be where you're having sex, right? You can be very intimate. Like, something that I love to do is, like, to me, like, as a Cancer, like, I have to have foreplay. Like, that's a big part of it. Like, you know, I like the anticipation and the arousal and the playing, you know what I mean? Instead of just getting right into it, you know, the buildup of it, it's better for like the climax and all of that or whatever. So, like, you know, intimacy and stuff, when you can learn to have it in a different way, you know, where you're getting close and you're cuddling and things like that. So there's different things that you can do to still stimulate your sacral chakra and stuff. So, you know, you need to, maybe those are some things to think about, right? But yeah, like, if you feel that somebody's like in a dark, heavy energy and you're not, don't feel like you have to go give them sexual energy, or then it's going to, you know, it's gonna be unmatched, and then it's gonna be pulling and draining the other person's energy. And that's what I was trying to explain to him when I was holding back. It's like, it wasn't spiritual. Like, it was getting him to, I think, to where he was getting mad at my spirituality in a way, because it was like, oh great, going through another initiation again. Or there'd be times like, I'd be like, okay, we around new moons or whatever, like, I want to harness that energy. Like, no, like, but you know, it wasn't fair. Like, I should have been more considerate of him, because, you know, that can be very, very powerful. And they keep showing me like these portals, like literally how you can open portals together, harnessing that energy. So there's something about that, like, so maybe you're seeing things differently. Like, now I'm starting to realize that, like, yeah, wow, like, every time that I pull back my sexual energy, it's affecting him as well, you know, and that's why it's like you got to be careful with how you use that energy, and that's why you freely don't go give it away, and that's why when you're committed, like, you should be committed with that person. You're creating a bond with them, you know, so yeah. Wow, okay. So this is definitely, I would take a look at the first reading if you didn't, because those cards are coming out with this message, so I'll probably keep this one as short. Wow, and that was coming out through the Lemurian deck. I felt guided to this the other day too, but I didn't have time. So, see, I got to get a little bit more intimate with you guys because I got my children outside playing. So, but yeah, they're starting to want to come in now, so. I'll probably keep this one, wait a minute, yeah, 12 minutes. I'll keep this one short to go off that one because I'll get into doing some other ones so I can have the door back open. But this is such a powerful time. I really feel that you're going to be seeing things more differently, more clearly. Mount Shasta is on the bottom. Let's see. So I'll read one card from this one, and then I'll get into doing some other readings. So definitely watch more readings, okay? The origins, the seeds that make you what and who you are. Star beings, sacred power places. Unexplained mystical phenomenon, intuitive message, downloads, dreams, and visions. Aware that the entire continent would be destroyed. The Lemurians traveled to other parts of the globe. Mount Shasta has a profound connection with the Lemurian people, as it is one place they journeyed. There are many tales of multidimensional beings living inside the mountains, and sightings of kinds of unusual phenomena here. When I received the intuitive messages that I would be writing and delving more deeply into emerging the theme of these cards, I had a strong vision to visit the mountain and channel a painting on it. After a range of synchronicities, I found myself there. The ambience of this magical place cannot be denied, and the image you see on this card is what came through. Mount Shasta has also seemed to be a connection to star beings and portals to multiple worlds and parallel realities. The arrival of Mount Shasta town, I was involved in the Palladian channeling circle, where I had a vision of stars communicating with the mountains through light codes and interconnected glowing grid lines over the entire earth. I have experienced these luminescent grid lines before. I have been told I can put hands onto them and connect my healing light with all other lights doing their work across the planet. During my time at Mount Shasta, I came to understand that there has been many UFO sightings there, and I realized how connected the Lemurians were to the star beings. Further research revealed several accounts of Lemurians beings of mixed origins from throughout the universe. This place holds many stories that I had insights, but it also felt right to keep the imagery of this card simple. I felt as it was spoke beyond the mind. I was quite perplexed at what the meaning of this card would be. I knew Mount Shasta would be an important card in this deck, but I didn't realize how significant it would be until the following was revealed. I planned to include symbols of the 10 chakra cards that would activate the chakras, but I also wasn't sure how. And it's funny, we've received 2 of those chakra cards with this as well. And it's interesting, I was talking a lot about my father and, you know, the things that he would do for me. Like, my father was like a shower. Like, he loved to do things that he could show people that he could do. Like, we always took vacations and trips, and it was bringing me to, like, the mountains. Like, he brought me to the mountains, and we went to, like, the highest mountain, Pikes Peak, and we went to other mountains and other beautiful places when I was a kid. It was just showing me that there's a lot of things. Maybe for some of you, you visited some of these sacred places, or you're being called to, or maybe you're being called to go with your lover. Maybe you're being called to go with your lover and, hold on, and experience something. Because it's interesting is, like, I shared, oh, okay, I can't check it right now, but I shared something on my Facebook page. If you guys don't follow my Facebook, you should, because I'm in a lot of groups and I share a lot of cute stuff. And a lot of times the pictures and the images that I'll share, whatever, get tied into the frequency of the download or whatever for that day. But literally, like, it was yesterday where I shared something where 2 people were laying on the ground in the rain, and they were making out, right? And it was saying, like, I don't care who watches me, who sees me, just know that we are grounded right now because they were laying in the grass. They were grounded with the rain hitting them. Like, how beautiful that must be. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I need that. You know what I mean? Like, I already know just like how passionate, like, we've been. Like, I don't know what it is about Walmarts, but like me and my lover, like, because, you know, we're a family. Like, I never shop Walmart and all this, so I had kids, right? And then after having them, you know, it's just, you're always having to buy food and other things for your kids. So Walmart, like, one-stop shop, done everything there, right? So, and at Walmart, like, the kids, we could be like, oh, go get food or whatever. So, you know what I mean? They're all excited. So, like, we could send them. We could be, like, in the freezer section, which is funny because the freezer section, like, always seems to be, like, empty, right? I don't know what it is with freezer sections in us, but it's like we'd be in the freezer section, like, trying to pick out dinner, and they'd be like, oh, can we get fruit snacks or whatever? We'd be like, all right, go get them. So when the kids would go running off, then we'd have the aisle by ourselves for a couple minutes, so I could grab him and kiss him. And there's just so many times that we don't care if other people come down the aisle and stuff, but it's like we don't like to do that around the kids. But literally, like, there's been times, like, we ran into, like, the kids' friends or people that we knew that have seen us, like, gosh, we've seen you guys at Walmart. You know what I mean? But then I think about what people must think when they see that, because you don't often see that very much. But so there's something about, like, and it's much more exciting when, like, I could just grab him in the middle of the wall. You know what I mean? Like, even though you know it's only a matter of minutes before somebody's gonna come down the aisle or whatever, or we could hear the kids running back or whatever and stuff. But there's something about that, like, they were showing me that while I was, and the picture of, like, outside. So there's something with these powerful places and the love, and, like, the love that, like, you radiate, and the love that you have, and anchoring it, and people being able to see it. There's something all tying this in, okay? So maybe you're feeling guided to, like, go to some powerful places, like, go to where you're feeling led to, where you're led to go. Like, maybe the vibration and frequency of your love or something can unlock something, right? So, let me finish reading this. The creations of these cards have been profound unfolding, and when I sought guidance, I received the message that the chakra activation codes were in the Mount Shasta painting. Oh, wow. As I'm showing it to you now, there was a symbol for each of the chakras, and you can find them on the bottom left-hand side of the chakra cards. The image is the seed crystal, and the whole deck is based around. Oh my gosh, wow. So there's another meaning behind this card, the divinatory meaning. This card is about origins. It is a time to honor and look more deeply into your ancestry, both your bloodlines and your etheric lineage. Do you have an infinity with star beings? Connecting with them might allow you greater insight into your traits, your strengths, and your challenges. Perhaps you have a Lemurian connection. This card may also be encouraging you to visit sacred places you feel attracted to. They may have an intuitive message for you. Oh my, wow. I feel like this all ties together too. This is so beautiful. And I've been talking so much about my father in this reading and stuff too, and just everything's just coming together for me. This is so beautiful. But my kids keep coming up to the window, so I better stop this reading. I'm sending love and light to all of you. Definitely watch more readings that are guided to take advantage of this new moon in Aries. And all the readings are timeless anytime you come in alignment with this, but I'm always letting you know about the cosmic alignments, what's going on. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to catch my readings in real time. All my content on my channel is free, know that. All right, love and light to all of you. Bye.